Welcome, everybody. I'm Marc David, founder of the Institute for the Psychology of Eating. We're back in the Psychology of Eating podcast. I am with David today. Welcome, David.
Thank you.
Glad we're doing this. Glad we're here. For people tuning in for the first time, here's how it works. David and I haven't met before. We've just been chatting for a few minutes. And the idea is to see if we could move you forward in a good way when it comes to food and body. So if you could wave your magic wand and have whatever you wanted when it came to food and body, what would that be for you, my friend?
That's a great question. You know what? I've become sort of flooded with, oh yeah, this and this and this and this. But I think at the age that I am, I want to be able to have stamina, be more fit. I don't want things to ache when I walk. I'm probably asking a miracle. I'm 74 years old. I want it to be easy for me. I want to have a life that, as far as eating is concerned, that is not restrictive. You know, I've tried every diet, and I'm sure everybody on these podcasts has tried every diet there ever has been, including the one where you take this pregnancy hormone and have 500 calories, you know, a day. And yes, I did. I lost 40 pounds. Well, I gained that back, you know, and probably more. So I think the other there's some complications with this, that I don't have any health issues, or at least that I know about. Thank God, you know. I live in Mexico, and I have a house in Albuquerque, New Mexico. We have a housekeeper here who pretty much buys our groceries and takes care of our meals for us, you know. Here, but not in Albuquerque, on that we're on our own. It's a whole different cuisine. New Mexico and interior Mexican are very, as you probably know, Mark, very different cuisines. I've hired personal trainers. I have at least 3 coaches. I have had, because I believe in coaching, and that's what I do. I'm busy right now. I have 35 clients. That's a lot of clients. And so what's happening is that, like this morning, I had a 10 to 11. I just had a 12 to 1, and I cut off early and now I have a 1 to whatever, wherever, you know. And so, like, okay, then now I didn't even eat breakfast. I had I'm going to confess, before we got on, I had a banana and peanut butter. That's what I had this morning. I had a banana, and it was like just so easy. I'm like, oh, I got to get back on. I've got 10 minutes to get back on this, to be on this podcast. I'm inconsistent. I don't know. I don't know what else. I'm a mess. I'm not really motivated. You know, but I've kind of had it. I'm kind of like, okay, you know, can I just be me? Can I just live? It's a social atmosphere here in San Miguel. You know, we got back on Friday. We have three dinner parties. One on Friday, you know, coming up, you know. I don't know what else to say, Mark.
So is there a part of you that wants to lose weight these days?
I would like to, yeah, I am vain. I would like to not be so judgmental about the belly that I have. I'm not heavy really anywhere else, except I have this, and I have all this back fat, if you want to. That sounds gross, but I am overweight. I'm probably 40 pounds overweight.
Mhm.
Yeah, I would like to lose weight. Yeah.
Got it. So let me see if I have some of these pieces of the puzzle correctly. So there's a part of you that wants to eat healthy, and there's also this part of you that wants to live your life and not necessarily have a lot of restrictions. There's the part of you that's sort of, I don't know, fed up with it all and doesn't want to do any of it. And you're not that motivated, but you wish to have the results as if you were motivated and did things. So you're kind of in this nebulous no man's land where, and I'm now putting my words on it, where in your mind, in your head, you have these beliefs or these guidelines that, hey, I want to be healthy. And hey, I got my preference. I want to look a certain way. You know, it's not necessarily that you're vain, it's just you got your preference. Here, so I'd like to look. And yeah, you're healthy right now, and you'd like to stay that way for the most part, as long as you can. And at the same time, you know, it's a lot of energy to eat the right way, and it seems to be a lot of energy to lose weight. So what do I do? Did I encapsulate that in a way that fits for you?
You did a beautiful job.
All right. Okay. So when do you, how long have you been in this conundrum?
Oh, you mean be overweight? How long have I been overweight?
And wanting it to be different and doing different things to do it, but it's not really lasting and not really
Okay.
feeling ultimately the motivation.
Okay. Um, it comes and goes, to be quite honest with you. There are moments of extreme self-care. That's been a long time ago, years ago. And then there's been moments of extreme, I don't care. I'm going to eat fried chicken because it's comforting to me.
Mhm.
Uh, and, I guess I haven't always been clear about my body image, to be quite honest with you. Uh, I've always, I was very, very thin uh, growing up. In fact, called skinny, made fun of, whatever. I was popular and all of that. And I adjusted to. I was student body president. Anyway, I had these leadership, capacities, and then when I got to college and got in a fraternity, um, I kind of ballooned. My nickname on my jersey was Tubby. So and then I've gone back and forth, from losing and gaining, losing and gaining. But I've never been as heavy as I am right
Mhm.
now. And it's never been. It seems hard. It seems that it's really going to be hard. Um,
It
and
meaning to lose the weight.
yeah, that I
Yes.
have to really gear up for it and just think all the time about losing weight and watching everything. I don't know. When do I just stop and just live? My husband's just turned 80. He walked the Camino de Santiago 500 miles at 74 years old. And that's not me. We're these very different personalities, dispositions, and all of that. We've been together 28 years though, and so it works, the relationship. But I can't do what he does because he doesn't eat till dinner, and
Mhm.
it's just his way. But he's not overweight. I mean, if he gets overweight, he takes care of that somehow. But he's much more active. I'd like to be more active, I think.
Mhm. How does he feel about your body?
He never complains about me. He no, he doesn't have an issue with my body, or at least he hasn't told me he does, so.
Mhm. So you mentioned, you started talking about body image, and I'm going to paraphrase, never quite clear about what your body image was, because here you were young, you were thin, but you were still popular, get to college and gain some weight, and all of a sudden you're not that thin kid anymore. And then you go on this journey. Like, if you can encapsulate in a minute or less, what's been your experience of your body over the decades, in your 30s, your 40s, your 50s? Just when you look at yourself in the mirror, what's the general conversation that goes on inside?
Well, I've always felt like I was overweight.
Mhm.
Now, if you asked other people, it's not overweight in this everything is big. It's the belly. It's my belly, and that you can, if your frame is okay, and if you dress right, it's not something people say, oh God, he's really overweight. It's just like, oh, well, you better watch that. You're going to have a tendency to be overweight, and overweight is different than obese.
Mhm.
I'm obese now, and that's something that it's a hard word. It's a hard word for me to describe myself as, but I think during COVID, they talk about the COVID-19. I did at least the COVID-19. I did at least 20 pounds during
Mhm.
COVID, maybe more, you
Mhm.
know. But but I've always not allowed myself to go this far.
Mhm. So I'm going to switch tracks for a second. It's going to sound unrelated, but there is a method to my madness here. So, do you have a vision for yourself around your work?
Yes. Uh-huh.
So, where do you see yourself going in a minute or less in the next, let's say, 20 years? How do you see your work life unfolding?
I will be 94 if you add that up.
Yes.
Um, I will not be working, I don't think, anymore.
Mhm.
I'm like I say, I have a lot of clients now, but I want to still be able to go up and down the stairs. I still want to be active at 94. I still want to be alert, and I don't want to be in pain. I don't want to have pain. I don't want to have life a painful life.
Yes. Do you ever think to yourself how long you want to live? Do you have a number in your head?
I don't have a number in my head. I think it would be. I just say, let's say 94, since we threw that out there.
Okay. So let me share some thoughts in no particular order here. What I have noticed working with men, certainly 60 and up, is that it's very easy to get to the place where, geez, I don't want to work so hard at this stuff anymore. I want to be healthy. I want to feel good. I want to live younger, longer. I want to have the weight that I wish to have, but I don't necessarily have all the energy to do what it would take to do all that.
You got it.
Okay. So that, I think, on one level goes a little bit with the territory, because you have to really understand the economy, the ecosystem of your own energy. You have so much energy to do different things, to do work, to be in relationship, to travel, to do this, that, the other thing that makes you happy. So what I've noticed is that if we, as a man 60 and over, if we don't have a clear, I'm going to call it a game plan, a clear vision for what we want, then we're going to not particularly get any place. If you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there. So right now, admittedly, you're in that place of, gee, I want these things, but I don't know if I want to do the work. So that's honest. And I think that's a good place to be, because that's where you are. And it's a place where ultimately I would want to see you make a choice. And what the choice is how I, David, wish to live my life, because it's your life. And yeah, you know, you and I have our preferences. You have your preference. I want to look a certain way. I want to weigh a certain amount. I love it. That's great. You deserve to have your preferences. You have a preference for where you live. You have a preference for how you dress. All good. So your preferences are perfectly fine. They're perfectly legitimate. And this is the time, I think, to have a reckoning. It's just a reckoning. It's okay. I got 20 more years-ish left. How do I want to carve that up in terms of who I'm going to be in relationship to this body and what I want to do? So you've already told me some of your, I don't know, maybe I call them values. Value, I don't want to be in pain that I don't need to be in. Value, I don't want to be obese. Value, you know, I want to feel like I have energy to do things. Great. So if those are indeed your highest values, then the conversation becomes, okay, what do I need to do to put myself in the best part of the probability universe to get there? There's one thing I think that's in your way that doesn't need to be in your way. And the thing I think that's in your way that doesn't need to be in your way is you think, because of past experience and because of what the world is constantly telling you, that this stuff needs to be really hard. And I need to do extreme nonsense in order to lose weight. I need to have an unhappy experience of food in order to lose weight. I need to have an unhappy experience. It needs to be hard. It needs to be like all this weird stuff. And I don't believe that's true. It could just as easily be the kind of journey where, yeah, you might be noticing yourself and monitoring yourself and making certain choices that are, oh yeah, I'm going to forego that because I want to only have 2 drinks a night instead of 4, because that's going to make a difference for my weight. So yeah, you might be making certain choices there. But if you have your guiding star, your guiding goal, your guiding values in mind, it's easier to do certain behaviors around your health. It's easier to do certain behaviors. You don't want to be restricted. That's kind of what I'm hearing. You don't want to be restricted.
Right.
There's a part of your brain that's going, don't tell me what to eat.
Right.
And you want to have fun. You want to enjoy yourself. This is your life, and you're in your good years, and you have the wherewithal to enjoy yourself. So you want to enjoy yourself.
Right.
So I'm going to assume that there's a way for you to thread the needle of, I enjoy myself, and I can also do things that put me in the best part of the probability curve to have a healthy life. And that put me in the best part of the probability curve to let my body find its natural weight. My body finding its natural weight is different from I need to make my body lose weight. You don't want to make your body lose weight because that's too much work. You've done it in the past. You know it's work. It is work. Beating up the body to lose weight is how we are taught to do it, how we're taught by the world to do it. So you get these 500-calorie diets, you get all kinds of diets, and you do these things. They are unnatural to the human body. What is natural to the human body is you wake up in the morning and you eat at some point. And then at some point you eat again, and then you eat again. And if you're lucky, you enjoy the food. And if you're lucky, you have good quality food. So we're eaters. And there's plenty of humans across the globe who have their natural weight because they're eating foods that work for their body, that work for them. And you're not fighting. So instead of exercising, for you, I would love for you to context it around, it's more about movement. How do I wish to move in a way that would feel good to me? I want to share that one thing that people in your age group will face, 60 and up, will face, is that it's harder to generate momentum for movement as we get older. Body wants to be comfortable. It's just what it does. Your body naturally at age 74 wants to be comfortable, wants to cozy up, and it doesn't want to run around. You want the younger ones to go out and hunt and gather and do stuff. So that's reasonable. And that's what you would need to move through, not so you can lose weight. Don't do that to lose weight. Move because I'm going to feel better. I'm going to have more energy. It's good for me. It feels good. Walking feels good. Hiking feels good. I don't know what feels good. Biking. If swimming feels, anything that feels good to you is your starting place. Getting a personal trainer, only do that if it feels like fun. If a personal trainer means I am employing this person so she could help me lose weight, then I'm going to say, don't do it. I'm interested in you taking weight loss out of the equation and not letting that be the motivating factor. I know it's your preference. I'm glad it's your preference.
I love what you're saying. I don't want to go back. I love that you just said, take weight loss out of the equation.
Right. And then you get to choose how to live, understanding that you already know certain things. You already know certain things that are healthy for you, certain things not so healthy for you. It doesn't mean you have to eat a perfect diet. I'm going to say for you, if you could eat 80% healthy, 85% healthy, 90% healthy, pick a number, doesn't matter, but have it be the dominant number. And therefore, you're not living in a moral battle. No, this is good for me, this is bad for me. This is going to make me gain weight, this is going to make me lose weight. That's old, that's boring, that's uninteresting. It's based in punishment, and it continues the age-old, I don't like my body conversation. Part of it is when we're in the consciousness called, I need to lose weight, there's a part of us, and hang in there with me, a part of us that checks out of the body a little bit. I'm not kind of in my body. I'm thinking I will be in my body when I have the body I want.
That's really, you're singing my song. I've realized that sometimes when I sit down to eat, I'm not even in my body. I can't even remember. I mean, I have to consciously, I go somewhere else. I don't know where, you know, and I know I've been to a lot of therapists, and I know that that I didn't come out till I was 40 as far as being gay. So I've got this kind of history of um, leaving my body if I'm expected to be with a woman. Anyway, it's just, I guess it's an opposite thing of like women who who leave their body if they're being abused. I have this other side that in connection to my body is being disconnected
Yes.
from it, and not coming out, like I said, till I was 40 years old after
Yeah.
two marriages, so there's stuff there.
Right. And it makes sense. So it's it's an understandable, logical strategy. If I'm not living my truth, if I am actually not really safe in my body, because my body's really something else, my body wants something else, my body wants to do something else. But if I'm forcing myself to be in this other way to be in my body's technically not safe. And when a body is not safe, we go into a stress response. We either go into fight or flight or freeze. So your tendency was to go into a freeze response. I mean, it was frozen. And when we're frozen, we leave the body. So right now, food is, to your brain, food is problematic. Losing weight is problematic. This whole thing about I want to lose weight, but I also want to be true to myself. And I want to be healthy, but I also want to enjoy my life. That confusion can cause us to leave our body, can cause you to leave your body. So one beautiful practice you can do is to practice anytime you eat. Be present, enjoy it, savor it. I don't care if you're eating a food that's on your bad list. In fact, especially if it's a food on your bad list, I want you to eat it and enjoy it and savor it. Because there's a little bit of good boy, bad boy going on in your mind. Good food, bad food's going on in your mind. If I eat a good food, I'm a good person. If I eat a bad food, I'm a bad person. If I'm being with a woman, I'm a good person. If I'm not being with a woman, I'm being with I'm a bad person. So we want to let go of that old dualistic way of thinking. You're a grown man, you could eat whatever you want. Foods will either enhance your health or they will detract from your health. Or something in between, but they're not morally good or morally bad, nor are you a bad person if you eat a food that's not on your "this is healthy for me" list. So we're trying to neutralize food, let it be what it is, and get you present when you eat. So it's really reinventing your relationship with food. Again, you're taking weight loss off the table. If we take weight loss off the table, it's a whole new relationship with food. What do I want to eat? What do I feel like eating? And then every meal becomes a choice. And the choice is, I'm interested for you. I'm going to suggest to you an approach. And the approach is choose foods that make you feel good. Like, I enjoy this food. And that also you have come to learn or believe that these are healthy for me, good for me. Feel good plus seems like it's good for me. Forget about any diet you've ever read. Quality foods, fresh foods, healthy foods, organic food, local food, food that you enjoy, food that's well prepared. And stay present to your meals. If you eat a dessert, eat it, enjoy it, savor it. Do you tend to be a fast eater, a moderate eater, slow eater?
I'd just say regular, moderate. There, I can easily be a fast eater, but when I try not to be. One thing Joe and I do when we sit at the table is that we hold hands before we eat and we're just quiet for a few minutes so that so that you then hopefully can become more present. I had a coach that actually graduated from your program.
Oh, lovely. Who?
Luciana Grovata.
All right. Oh, that's
You
so
know,
sweet.
she's amazing. I love her. I've had her for years. She goes right to the core. She's amazing. She's taught me some of these things. You're singing her song, as a matter of fact. Yeah,
Oh, I'm so glad to hear that.
she's
So,
amazing.
I'm so glad. So, by taking weight loss off the table, you get to live your life. And you get to make choices in the moment. And you let go of the food prison, where if I eat this, I'm good. If I don't eat that, I'm bad, whatever it is. And by being present with your food, just being present and enjoying it and savoring it and celebrating it, you're in your body. If you notice yourself checking out when you eat, call yourself back in. I'm sure with any of your clients, no matter what you're coaching them on, you need them to be present in the places that are problematic for them. You need them to not distract themselves in the places that are difficult, to not check out from difficult experiences. And this is a good thing. I'm asking you, you enjoy eating, great, eat when you eat. So you're making friends with food, because there's just a little part of the brain that food isn't quite your friend. It is and it isn't. We want to have food totally be your friend. I want to say something about body. So when you do that, you have the opportunity to start to find your natural appetite. You have the opportunity to start to find your natural relationship with food. You have a natural relationship with food and with your appetite. You just have to create the conditions for that to emerge. One of the conditions for your natural relationship with food to emerge is to not put pressure on the food to do something to you. Food, you must make me lose weight. Food, you must make me be healthy all the time. Food, you must make me be happy and whatever. If you're trying to control your partner, you're not going to have a natural relationship. It'll be strained. So we're taking the pressure off of food to have to perform in the interest of you starting to find what your body does and what it doesn't do once we take weight loss off the equation. So in a lot of ways, you're just going on like a 4 diet. So you're not dieting. You're discovering your relationship with food and you're noticing your values. So you just might say to yourself, heck, life is short and I want to enjoy myself. So I'm going to eat what I want. That's totally reasonable. But it's best to choose that knowingly and willingly. There are moments where you might say that, I really want this dessert. And in that moment, if you're going to eat it, then you choose to eat it. Because if you're choosing to eat it, then you're empowered. And if you're empowered, you're in a state of relaxation. If you're eating it and you're going, I shouldn't eat this, it's fattening, it's bad for me, I have no willpower, what's my problem? That's a stress response. That's stress chemistry. That's going to give you, stress chemistry skews the body towards weight gain and inability to lose it. So we're trying to remove stress, self-chosen stress around your relationship with food.
Yeah.
And in the process, you're asking yourself to just trust your body right now.
Right.
As you're creating a new relationship, you're experimenting, you're exploring. This is a new relationship. This is coming out of the closet and being a person who is, I'm an eater. I love food. And I'm now learning about my new relationship with food when I take weight loss off the table. Yes, I have my preference. And I'm learning how important that preference is to me and how I balance out the things I do with food and the things I do with movement to move me towards my preference in a natural way, in a gentle way, in a fun way. How are we doing, David?
I love it. The whole concept of finding my natural weight, that's kind of new. I mean, I may have never heard it before, and I really never have heard that about stress chemistry. I do know I need to stay present. I do. That's what I do in my coaching. I mean, I have to be present the entire hour that I'm with the person, and I'm always coming back to who is this person, and you know, that how can I either move them to action or celebration or whatever it might be. And the dualistic way of thinking, I love you said naturalize food in your relationship with food. Choose food that makes me feel good, and seems like it's good for me. When I lose myself and call myself back in, and the choices are in the moment. And I mean, I needed to hear about this reckoning because I have been thinking that I need to. Even in coaching, we don't want to say need to. We say I want to. You know, we watch our words, right? But I'd love to be able to find a natural way to eat, and I love it that it's not about weight. Take the weight loss out of the equation and think about how to live. I just want to I just want that to be tattooed somewhere, you know.
Yes.
So that every time I pick up that I have something on, pick up a fork, it says, find your natural, you know, whatever the words are that you use, Mark, and I've taken notes on that I want to go back to re-examine and really try to get this.
Yes. Yes. It's letting go in a strange way of bullying the body. Because we're giving the message to the body, you got to do this. I need you to be different. I need you to be
That's what I think every day. I think, go walk, go take a walk, you know, get out of here, you know, and then I feel bad, like I want to read my book and snuggle with my kitty.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to take a walk, you know. This whole exercise thing, I've always wondered, what do people get out of that?
So you can make the same choice to curl up with your kitty from a place of authority. This is my choice. And it has nothing to do with weight gain or weight loss. It's about your life and how you want to express it. And if you want to go out and move, then you're going out and moving because you want to get into movement and you want to see if you can enjoy it. And you want to use it as a tool to feel good about yourself, not as a tool to lose weight. Can weight loss be a side effect of movement? Absolutely. But it's not the reason to do it.
Right.
Our ancestors didn't run around the environment and hunt and gather so they can look good in a bikini. They're just going about their business. So when you take weight loss out of the equation, then all of a sudden you're left with your body. And I think part of having a reckoning is, here's what I've noticed. I'm going to tell you something. You'll appreciate this, because I'm sure in all your years of coaching, you've noticed certain things that are potent or that are powerful, that when people can get to a certain understanding or realization, things shift. So what I have found with people around weight, that one of the beautiful aha moments is when we can have the experience, the felt experience called, I'm good with this body as it is right now. Just for a moment. It doesn't have to be for like days or months or years. To have the experience called, yo body, you don't have to change. For me to love and accept you and to feel good about being in this body. I don't have to do a damn thing in this moment right now. It can be when you're sitting on your deck. It can be when you're curling up with the cat. It can be when you're with your husband, and just have, it's a feeling, it's a felt sense of, oh, this is okay. Because once you do that, the body does something that it might not have done ever before, which is relax into itself. That deep relaxation response is what helps us heal, quote unquote, traumas. Trauma is a big undigested stress. Deeply relaxing into the body that I have signals to your body, yo body, you're safe. You're loved, it's okay. You don't need to be changed for me to love you. If your partner was waking up every morning and telling you the same things you tell yourself about your body, you wouldn't like them so much. It wouldn't feel so good. So it's finding moments of wholeness with your body as it is right now, even though it's got extra fat over here and extra fat over there, and that's not my preference. There's a certain kind of spiritual humility in accepting the body as it is, just for a moment. I just lost your voice, David. I think you somehow muted yourself.
I said, well, my cat was meowing, trying to get in the door, and I'm like, I don't want to hear that. Yes, I love the idea, and I have spiritual coaches too, in finding wholeness in how I am right now, and loving and accepting myself as I am right now without changing anything. And it sounds to me like it is not just a spiritual thing, but it is actually a physical thing too, that all work together, in this way of because I don't think you can change anything that you don't accept. So it's high level of acceptance about who I am, and that I'm okay, and that I'm loved just the way I am, and that I love myself the way I am. And when I don't, I just, it's so painful, to look at yourself and go, you're disgusting. I mean, and I know this with my coaching. As long as you're doing that, you're not going to make any progress. You're not going to change, and this is just more, the whole idea of it being more natural really appeals to me, because my quest in my life has been to be authentic, and that hasn't come easy for me. Yeah. To be an authentic gay man, especially in a world of education. And 35 years ago, I was a high school principal. Anyway, those are all, and knowing I have this secret, and I just discovered there's a difference in secret and private, and that I don't want to live a secret life, and I don't, or anything like that. So this quest to be authentic has driven me. And when you talk about it like that, to find another word for my natural state is my authentic self. You know, my authentic way, the authentic part of who I am, to come forth, and it all be accepted and okay. And not only that, but it be loved.
Mhm.
Not just accepted, but farther down the road is loving the way I am, which is really difficult. Conditional love is what I got, most of my life, son, if you're this way, we love you. Oh, you're gay, you ruined the family. Let's not ever talk about that again. That's not who you need to be for us, but I have to be it for me. So this is all, as you know, Mark, that's from psychology. It's all wrapped up in,
Yes.
tied together.
So you're allowing your body to be authentically it. And your body can be authentically it when we stop pushing it and forcing it and shoving it and making it do this, that, and the other thing, and just give it a little breathing space. Like, yeah, you got to take care of it. Yeah, you got to rest it. You got to sleep it. You got to feed it. You got to do all the things you got to do. And there's a place where we got to let it breathe a little bit. I don't know if you do sort of journaling exercises, but I think an interesting exercise for you might be to write a letter, and the letter is from your body to you. So I want you to channel your body. And the letter starts out with, "Dear David." And it's your body talking to you and just telling you just what it has to say. And just giving you a report on where things are at and where it's at, and its appreciations for you, its challenges that it has with you, its requests of you, and ultimately its partnership with you. So it's all in the spirit of love and transformation. And your body is just having an honest conversation with you. And see if you can be a voice for your body and see what comes out.
I like it.
It's a powerful exercise.
Yeah, thank you.
I think we covered some good turf.
Thank you. Yes. I was taking notes furiously.
That's a good thing.
It's a good thing.
Well, I really appreciate you being a willing conversationalist and going to some great places and sharing about you and your life and your journey. And what a beautiful thing to be a learning, growing human being at age 74. You don't look a day over 55, so something's working.
Well, thank you. Those glasses, you got them a little dirty, I think. Thank you so much. I do appreciate the time you spent with me. I'm glad you selected me, and I love everything you're saying to me.
I appreciate you, David. Thanks so much.
You bet. Thank you.
And take care, everybody.
Hey friends, we're so happy that you've joined us for another episode of The Psychology of Eating with Marc David. Are you loving these episodes? Then simply subscribe and you'll never miss an episode again. We'd also love it if you'd leave us a comment below so we can hear more about your own journey with food and body. And if you're curious about what we offer at the Institute for the Psychology of Eating, including our internationally acclaimed coach certification training that's rooted in dynamic eating psychology and mind-body nutrition, please head on over to our website, psychologyofeating.com. Until next time, take care, and remember, having the body you want starts with loving the body you have.